1-0 for the Seattle Seahawks. Mike Macdonald gets his first win as a head coach when we get to see the Seahawks win week 1 against a rookie quarterback, but a team in Denver that has a good head coach in Sean Payton. We're going with our rookie against a rookie quarterback and a rookie head coach on our side. You know, it's always somebody's going to slip up. You know, it's going to be hard for somebody that's in their first game ever. It looks like the rookie head coach beat the rookie quarterback this time, and that defense looked electric. I mean, I have so much to say about the Seahawks defense, and that's going to be a big part of this video because I think it's very clear, and we knew this from the get-go, but it's very clear why the Seahawks wanted to hire Mike Macdonald, right? It's because we went to Baltimore and got our ass kicked last year, and you saw how electric a defense like that is with guys that he helped boost their careers back up, guys like Patrick Queen, where he made them go from a bust to all-pro talent. This Seahawks team yesterday, the first 10 points by Denver was not even on the defense. The first 10 points were on an interception within the 35, 40-yard line, a fumble within the 35-yard line or so, 2 field goals, 6 points. There's 2 safeties, which is another 4 points. The first 10 points is off safeties and field goals that were the offense's fault. So the Seahawks defense really gave up 10 points, but it felt like that last touchdown, even though it was a closer game, it was 20-26, it felt like it was one of those fourth quarter last minute touchdowns. Seahawks needed a first down or two to end the game. The defense pretty much was lights out the entire game. I mean, we're looking at a game that if it wasn't for some offensive mistakes, you might have seen a 26-3 or a 26-7 game instead of a 26-20 if the offense was better in the first half. But it wasn't, and that happens. But the defense, Julian Love, his PFF grades, even if you don't care about PFF grades, we're just talking about unbelievable PFF grades. In the run defense, he was at a 90.7. In tackling, he was at a 70.7. And in coverage, a 90.2. He was a 93.4 overall PFF grade. To put that in perspective, 93.4. Number 2 was Devin Witherspoon with 85.3, almost a whole 10 points below. But if you look at the top of that PFF list, even just going through the top 5 or 6, let's go through the top 7, 8 guys, it gets really exciting. It's Julian Love at number 1, who we brought in on an extension after last year, brought him in last year, gave him an extension this summer. That's huge to see him come out and have a great week 1. Devin Witherspoon, of course, year 2 guy, getting better already. Number 3 was Tariq Woolen, of course. Crazy duo at corner. Number 4 was Jerome Baker, a new addition to this team at linebacker, which is an extremely important position. Number 5 is Leonard Williams, another guy we extended. Number 6, Rayshawn Jenkins, who had a phenomenal game. He was at 80.1 on PFF in coverage. Rayshawn Jenkins had a phenomenal game, but also a new guy brought in this year, pretty much taking over Jamal Adams' spot, which we should be very thankful for, as Jamal Adams missed week 1 once again, always missing games, while Rayshawn Jenkins looked great. Number 7 was Terrell Dotson. Come on, another addition at linebacker, free agent that we brought in. Number 8 was Kayvon Wallace. He only played 12 total snaps, but come on, another guy that we brought in this year. And then you have, some guys that played a lot of snaps, like Boye Mafe, who had a beautiful game. He was great in the pass rush. He just looks like he's on another level. Mike Morris only played 9 snaps, but had some really good grading. Byron Murphy was there at a 70.5 grade. Derek Hole at a 69.4 grade. Draymond Jones at a 65.4. You hear all these names. We had not a great grade by someone like Jaron Reed, who is going to be fine. But a lot of guys at the top are guys we extended, brought in from free agency, or young guys that we're developing. And that's what you want to see for a defense like this. Mike Macdonald does this. This is what he does. He takes guys like Julian Love and is going to make him even better. Get guys like Devin Witherspoon, Tariq Woolen, who are new in their careers but already good. He's going to make them great. Guys like Jerome Baker and Rayshawn Jenkins and Terrell Dotson, he's going to give them an opportunity to become from guys that, were not that hard to get. They weren't that expensive. They weren't that much in a trade. It was not they're not the most highly coveted players, and he's going to make them really good football players. So everything about the defense is exciting and makes you happy to see. It's hard to have many complaints at all. You got a nice sack from Boye Mafe. We had interceptions from Julian Love and Tariq Woolen. You had a sack by Derek Hall, which was nice to see. And overall, we looked good. Every aspect outside of the early offense looked good. I mean, Jason Myers was 2 for 2. He had a nice 50-yard field goal. The kick returns, Chenault Jr.'s 3 returns, averaged 24.7 yards per return. It worked out. There was nothing crazy. We obviously had I think it was D. Williams that had the fumble on the punt return. But for the most part, you're talking about 2 interceptions, 2 nice big sacks. Maybe you should hope for some more sacks. But everybody on the defense playing really, really well. Obviously, the offense was the big issue early on. It was, 9 points in the first half, but you got 17 points in the second half, and you got to see how this offense could wake up a little bit. I mean, you have a beautiful 4 rushes for 30 yards, but it was pretty much a 30-yard touchdown run for Geno Smith and got the touchdown. You had 20 rushes for 103 yards and a touchdown for Kenneth Walker. And you got to see the ball spread around a little bit. Obviously, Tyler Lockett, of course, again, 6 catches for 77 yards. Now, Geno only had 18 completions for 171 yards, so the numbers are a little lower for DK Metcalf and Jackson Smith and Jigba and other guys that lower than you'd want to see. But you can kind of see in the second half how that offense is going to be a lot smoother in the near future. That Ryan Grubb offense is going to take some time to develop the full offense from rushing to passing to everything. But they leaned on the run. They leaned on Kenneth Walker because it was working and they had to. And then the passing game started to open up. I think one of the biggest mistakes early on in the game is they probably were just a little too complicated early on, and they were worried about whatever it was and trying to get the ball moving. Passing game wasn't working. Once they established the run, that's when Geno Smith started to look comfortable. The offensive line started to look a little bit better. Where obviously Stone Forsythe is the 3rd string right tackle, so it's obviously not a great situation to be in. That's obviously a bad situation we were put in. But the offensive line somewhat figured it out. You had a phenomenal PFF grade for Charles Cross, left tackle. I mean, a 94.8 offensive grade, a 96.1 in the run blocking grade. You can't really ask for anything better than that. That's elite level. So a great game by him. Laken Tomlinson actually had a pretty decent game. Connor Williams looks good. Obviously, the right tackle is the right side of the line in general. Anthony Bradford, I think there was on that final Kenneth Walker touchdown run where he had a crazy good block. He was awful in the pass block, though. So that's where you look at it. If you look at PFF grades here, 73.4 in the run block grade for Anthony Bradford and 30.9, which is like deep in the red, bad in pass blocking. But, of course, unfortunately, George Fant got hurt after 13 snaps. You had Stone Forsythe in there, and obviously we're waiting for Abraham Lucas. But Forsythe actually had a decent game. Very average, but decent. 64.5 in the pass block, 66.1 in the run block. The right side of the line needs some work, obviously. The left side with Laken Tomlinson and Charles Cross is fine. The center position is great, of course, with Connor Williams. The right side needs some work. We'll see what will happen there. We'll see if it ends up being some Christian Haynes moving over. I don't know if he would move over or something, or whatever would happen. I know Bradford took a job. Haynes played 1 snap at left guard, I think, for Tomlinson, I believe it was, or for there was something there. But maybe Haynes ends up moving over there eventually if he develops. I'm not sure. But overall, once the run game got established and that line got comfortable in the run game, that's when the pass blocking got a little bit better and Geno Smith and the offense started flowing better. And the run game opened up even more once Geno's arm opened up more. That's where this offense is going to have to be week to week. And I think it was very clear and obvious that that's what's going to happen. Defense is solid. It's set. I'm so excited for New England next week. So I think once they're, they get this together, they get some film, I think we're going to see something special next week from the defense, especially going against New England and Jacoby Brissett. I know they beat the Bengals. I'm still not sold. I'm not sold at all on that, and I don't think many people are. On the offensive end, if they get it right, if they figure it out, the way they want to run this Ryan Grubb offense with the balance of pass and run, get Kenneth Walker going early, then let Geno start cooking it a little bit, and then you're going to get that balance. That Ryan Grubb offense will boom early next week is my thoughts. First half, hopefully, and you won't get as tight of a game as we did against the Broncos, which I'm fine with, though. It was week 1 for Mike Macdonald, his first game ever. He got the win. The Seahawks got the win, and they're 1-0. They're probably going to be sharing the top of that NFC West with the 49ers and the Seahawks both at 1-0. Cardinals and Rams lose. Good way to start the season. Get that win and show how good this defense is going to be. I mean, there is some signs of the way Mike Macdonald can build defenses into top 5 defenses that the Seahawks might do it this year early on. I think there's a chance that there's an elite secondary brewing. There's some elite pass rushers brewing. Uchenna Nwasu is going to be back at some point. You get guys like Mike Morris, getting better, and guys like Derek Hall getting better. Boye Mafe looking like he could be becoming elite. There is so much great potential here. The linebacking core is only going to get better. Tyrell Dodson said that him and Jerome Baker, because they don't have much time together, they had to start hanging out off the field and start learning what we like, personalities, everything, how to run this linebacker core. And they were great in week 1. They were at a very good game in week 1. So imagine as that develops, as it gets a little bit better, I think everything that we have with the Seahawks team was a good sign in week 1 outside of the first quarter and a half with the offense. But we're not worried about the offense. And I'll tell you why. Simply, this offense has been together. Geno Smith, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Kenneth Walker, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Noah Fant. A lot of these pieces here. Some of the offensive line with Charles Cross. There's just going to be some adjustments. The offensive line has to. It's always the same story with the Seahawks, but the offensive line has to get it together. You hope Abraham Lucas comes back healthy in a few weeks and gets it going. And Ryan Grubb's going to take some time to develop his offense into what he needs to be and learn his new personnel. It's really the offense has been together, but the coordinator's not. So they just need a little bit of time to work it in together. Defensively, we're not worried. It's just going to get better from here. So, and people are going to get healthy like Uchenna Nwasu, and the way we're going to see some guys start developing a little bit better, it can get really, really exciting. So I'm excited to see how it all plays out, but week 1 was a beautiful week 1 and something to be excited about. I'll be back in the next few days. This was just a little bit of a post-game podcast type of rant, and I'm going to try to do a couple videos this week, talk about more specific players and things coming up with the Patriots game, and so stay tuned. We'll be back, and I appreciate any of the support. Please like and subscribe if you want to support. Also, check out our podcast at Seattle on Tap. Links are in the description. That would mean a lot to us at Seattle on Tap. Me and my brother do a podcast together 3 or 4 times a week. It's pretty consistent now, so get on there if you love Seattle sports. And if you want to support me, I have a channel below called Stuff with Sammy. I'm going to start posting daily. I already had for a while. I got sick with the flu pretty badly, so I've been out of commission for 2 weeks, but I'm back. I'm posting daily vlog type of content, just trying to enjoy it, showing the normal side of life and everything like that. So Stuff with Sammy, subscribe if you want to support me. I love y'all. Go Hawks, and we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully.